Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Crypto C Investigation, where we have a look at different cryptocurrency projects and we ask ourselves, are they going to be worth investing in? Today we'll be looking at VVS Finance. Now, if you like the content, which I do, please consider liking and subscribing. Also, you are very welcome to comment. If you want to say something nice, you're very welcome to. If you want to say something like, you suck, this video sucks, please do not. Please try to maybe reword it into something like constructive criticism, if that makes sense. Or maybe even if you think that I'm wrong with anything in the video, then you can be like, hey, your facts do not line up with this, and you can correct me, and then I will consider pinning your comment to the top of the YouTube thing. Anyway, also one other little disclaimer, this is not to be considered / taken as financial advice. This is only for educational, inspirational, and entertainment purposes. Great, let's get going. Cool. VVS Finance. Currently, market cap 81 million. So remember, anything which is below a $100 million market cap is a bit riskier than anything else. So our current rank is 478. So let's have a look at the chart. Fully down, great place to buy. Holy bananas. This is since November. So, went up. Ooh, people thought it was going to go up. And then wee. And then woo. And then hey. And then no. Anyway. So, yeah. So, why has it gone down so much? We'll probably answer that soon. But what is VVS Finance? What does this say that it is? Well, shoot. It doesn't say that neither. Had a look on CoinGecko. Doesn't say that neither. So far, red flags left, right, and center. No, I'm kidding. We'll continue looking. So, this is so it's built on the Kronos system, which is quite good. I've heard good things about Kronos. Yeah. So you're probably like, oh my gosh, 30% wallet, 19% wallet, 17% wallet. Well, those ones are contracts. So they're contracts, so that's fine. So a bunch of my information, a bit of a shout out to the Discord team, the VVS Finance Discord team, where they answered most of these questions for me, because your boy is inquisitive as nuts. So the ones which don't have complete zeros, so these actually belong to the team. So every wallet which is above 5%. So pretty much everything which is above there, which doesn't have a bunch of zeros next to it, that belongs to the and the 4.5% as well. So that all belongs to the actual team itself, which it is 23%, which has been vested to them. I believe it's vested over a 4-year period. The word vest also apparently means locked. In case you're wondering. So in terms of everybody else is essentially less than 3%, other than maybe like these two dudes right here. Oh, sorry, those are actually contracts. Sorry, those are actually smart contracts there. So pretty much, nobody really owns more than 1%, which I mean is awesome in terms of rug pullington. Except for the team, which the team owns about 23%, which I mean, if they decide to drop it, then rest in peace. Alright, so I couldn't find anything on either of those sources, on BSC Check or Unicrypt. However, Token Sniffer. So Token Sniffer does tell us a little bit. So ownership not renounced, okay, that's fair enough. All other holders possess less than 5% of the token. So a wallet contains a substantial amount of tokens. So the wallets which do contain the as I mentioned, so some of these are the team wallets, and and that's it. So it's just those 3 wallets there, which would be teams. Whereas the other ones are for specific purposes. So so we know that much. But remember, one thing about the team, by the way, is we can't see the team. So on the website, is there a team which we can see? Heck no, fam. We don't want to see teams. We don't want any docs team. That's disgusting. How dare you? How dare you want to see the people who you trust your money with? That is sickening. We don't even want to see experiences. We don't want to see any experiences, or we don't want to trust them. So anyway, So they have been partnered. They were actually helped. They were slightly. So they were kind of like funded by Particle B from the sounds of it. So created an open source internet of value. Particle B is a blockchain startup accelerator that focuses on decentralized finance and blockchain games and on the development of the Kronos chain ecosystem. Apparently these guys are having an IGO, which is interesting. Well, why it is an IGO? Because I always thought that G was supposed to be for gaming. But yeah, just for those who are interested. So yeah, so these are some of the guys who helped fund them, as well as they do actually have two partnerships with them. One is called Tectonic and VVS Finance. If either of you guys know who those dudes are, I personally do not, but apparently they are also their partners. Yeah. So adequate liquidity present. You can actually okay, so you can get it on Chronoswap. Yeah, so maybe can we look at another exchange? Does this show Chronoswap? No, it doeth not. Okay, so yeah, so we can't really do any sort of like crazy scans with the Kronos system, unfortunately. It is a token though, so yeah, which could also lead some to be like, oh my gosh, that's a bad time. So in terms of being locked/burned, there has been this pretty big debacle. This pretty big thing regarding the developers saying, hey, we are going to be burning stuff, and they never did. So that's a bit annoying. Don't know why. Apparently they need to switch up to like the Kava method or something, Kava. Yeah, so don't really know what that's about, to be honest. But yeah, that's just sort of one of their sort of sus businesses. I did have a look at some of these extra comments as well. Doesn't look like there's any sort of crazy bot comments or anything, so that's awesome. It's just genuine people wanting to invest. So 60,000 followers is pretty impressive for that amount of things. So people definitely know about it, which is pretty cool. So let's have a look at some of the other stats. So this is their Reddit stats. They've got 10,000 subscribers, as you can see. So all the way from November, we're pretty big there. Comments per day. So you know they probably had that kind of December 13th. What happened on December 13th? Yoink, that is a massive drop. Okay, so that's probably what happened on December 13th. Let's continue reading some of these others. So, you know, they're sort of like mellowed out quite a bit since then. By the way, just to let you know, this sort of chart looks quite like a rug pull chart, although usually it just has one big one and then maybe like a slight small one, then all the way down. So this isn't completely reminiscent of what a rug pull chart would look like, but it's close. Posts per day. So posts per day had a big boom and then yoink down. So yeah, so in terms of its social things, it's pretty low for the moment. Could go back up, but you know, pretty low. Also had a look at a bunch of these things. There is no, what is it called? There is no, it doesn't look like there's any sort of spam bots or whatever, so that's also good as well. So in terms of the actual followers on Twitter, so in the last 30 days you have about 16,000 followers, which is kind of cool. It's kind of neat. So that's about, I don't know, like almost a quarter? More than a quarter? About a quarter. Something like that. Yeah, so we have about, yeah, so it's kind of been popular. User created on August 16th. So these guys might have been preparing for it for a little bit, which is kind of neato bonito. So there are some good things about some of this jazz as well. So we've had a look at some of the Twitter. These are some of the Google trends regarding this. So over the last 12 months, you've had a bunch of VVS being searched, but VVS could also stand for something else. Not entirely sure yet. So we also have a look at some of these things. And as we can see, they've had a bit of a pump during the whole November 24th thing, and then kind of mellowing out a little bit over the last maybe 30 or so days. And then, yeah, they've had a bit of a brief pump there as well. So I couldn't really find anything else which VVS stands for, so I'm not exactly sure what people would have been searching by typing in VVS. Anyway, so this is their main website. So essentially, these guys' main goal is to be like the main DEX built on, or the flagship DEX which is being built on the Kronos system. We will have a look at something else, which if you guys want me to do a video on it, we can as well. But yeah, so these guys are essentially wanting to be like the main system on that. Yeah, and for something which has an $80 million market cap, that is pretty decent. So yeah, let's have a look. So it says very, very simple DeFi trading for all. Your gateway to decentralized financial movement. Take control of your finances and earn sparkly VVS rewards. So essentially, so I think that a part of their, I guess, main earning would be yield farming. I think staking as well. I could be wrong. Possibly just yield farming. Sorry, stake for rewards. Yeah. So you can do that. They have a APY of 151% and an APR of 179%. Not sure what APR is, just to let you guys know. So you can trade it. So they have a little sort of their little DEX thing where you can buy and sell and get some fabulous coin for whatever you do with yours. So yeah, I think that's all kind of good. Hardened security and governance, clear incentives for all. One thing which does annoy me a little bit about the project is that I can't see enough of their transparency. So a bunch of people are actually miners on this network. So yeah, so that sort of transparency kind of bugs me. Oh, initial gem offering. Oh my gosh. That's what IGO stands for. Initial gem offering. So anybody can participate in this IGO, by the way. In case you're wondering, starts in one day. Man, I better upload this tomorrow morning then. Yeah, so that's quite fascinating. So this talks about the actual tokenomics, and we love tokenomics. So if we have a look, so 100% of the total allocated tokens in these categories to be unlocked at launch. So as you can see, the team has got 23%, which I did do the math, and their actual team wallets do add up to 23%. So that's good. They are being consistent with that, and so it's vested for 4 years with daily vesting. So that's fine. And so this is the actual release schedule for them as well. So as you can see, so the team sort of holds that section, community, and some of the future incentives, but the majority, as we can see, goes towards community, which is the farm and mine program. So I think that's quite neat. I think that's pretty cool / neato bonito. Yeah, there was also a few extra sort of comments on their Twitter complaining about how you guys keep releasing more tokens into the system, and then our value becomes less and less or whatever. So yeah, so a bunch of people are apparently doing this sort of staking and mining stuff to go and swap it out for Crow. Yeah, so for everybody who's kind of believing in the Kronos system, and what's awesome is that these guys show their roadmap, which, I mean, for the last few projects which I've done, they haven't actually sort of shown their upcoming roadmap, but these guys do. They actually have like ETA dates. So we have phase 1, Q1 to Q2, so smart removal, pool / farm performance insights. So they got a bunch of extra things, X VVS, multi rewards farms. So it's really cool how they sort of say this sort of jazz. In terms of what some of these things mean, you may be able to sort of find those extra things by selecting the Medium article. So for instance, if you wanted to find out, so one thing which was kind of fascinating to me was the smart removal, which is this. So smart LP, which stands for smart liquidity pool removal, and then so they sort of explain a little bit about why that happens. So if you remove LP tokens when the ratio of the two tokens is different, then when you originally added the liquidity, you will likely incur some impermanent loss. And then so they sort of talk about what is impermanent loss and a part of the fundamentals, which is pretty cool. So yeah, so I also have this extra thing on the end of this, which is Corona Swap, which is also, I guess, another potential competitor. But as you can see, their chart is almost just as sort of bad. Um, I'm not entirely sure why this is, by the way, for for why these things happen. But yeah, just wanted to sort of briefly show this, and if you wanted me to make a video on it, please comment, and I can probably do that for you as well. And maybe we could even do like a brief comparison or whatever. But yeah, so so sort of summarizing the things which we've seen, which I like and which I don't like. The don't like. Don't see the team. Don't have interviews with the teams. Don't have like a yeah, like that's, yeah, it's mostly just the founders not being public, which is a bit concerning, and the 23% is quite high, and the fact that we don't have any sort of big name partners. So I don't know the background, I don't know the experience of these guys. I don't have anybody who we can actively and avidly see that they genuinely have a good, or I don't know, people that we can avidly trust our money in. So that's some of the negatives, but some of the positives is that 23% is lower than 30%, which is in terms of the actual team holdings, which I think is quite nifty. What else is there? Yeah, I mean, the fact that almost everybody else holds less than 1% is also very attractive. The fact that they have a decent amount of APY/API, and they also have the initial gem offering, which will be coming out soon as well. Yeah, and the website's pretty clean as well, though. The website's pretty nice. The community's pretty cute. When I talked to them, they were pretty nifty. So yeah. And so the community feels pretty active, especially on Discord. On the actual Reddit itself, not entirely sure. But yeah, so other things, I mean, the Twitter stats fine. So it definitely seems like people who invest in it do want to possibly hold for the long term. It doesn't seem like something which is going to be a short term investment, or it doesn't seem like it's just sort of one of those pump and dump things. Because I mean, it's literally dumped pretty hard. So yeah, it doesn't seem like it's pump and dump, even though the chart may say or seem like it will be a pump and dump. But it does definitely have potential to be a pump and dump, as I say, with the 23%, because that 23% I don't believe is actually properly locked in. So even though those wallets do belong to people who to the actual team members, and it's not tied into a sort of contract or anything, I believe that the team can possibly take as much as they kind of want and can, because it says that although it is vested for 4 years, yeah, I don't know, something about it just doesn't kind of have me convinced enough on that sort of area. So anyway, guys, this is my video. Please consider liking and subscribing, as I say, and comment on what you think as well. If you think I'm wrong, please tell me or show me where I am wrong. But yeah, do be kind. This is my Patreon, by the way, if you want to subscribe or join or whatever. Yeah, you might be able to get early access to this delightful video. And possibly other sort of future ones. So yeah, guys, anyway, I hope that this was good. Hope that this was insightful, and yeah, have a wonderful evening or day.